Hello everyone, welcome to D4Drupal channel. Today we are going to see about how to use config ignore module in Drupal 9. Okay, so for that what I have done, I have installed two instances. One is dev and one is prod. So I am going to move all the configuration from the development instance to the production environment. Okay, so before that, when you have two environment, when you say the both are sync, which means we can move the configuration from development to prod, means you have to make sure that there is no changes on uuid of your system.site yml file, which means so configuration development synchronization export page, configuration development synchronization export page. So I'm going to single item on simple configuration system.site, and here also system.site. So this is the system.site YML file. It contains the system name, system admin mail ID 404,403 pages, all front page, everything. So this is in the div. So you can see there is no changes on UUID. So which means both UUID are same. If both UUID are same in the system.yml file, you can move the configuration from development to prod or any environment. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to download the composer require config ignore. Okay. Drupal slash config underscore ignore. So this module is has dependency of config filter. So that module also will get downloaded when you use it. Okay. And next is dev. On dev, I'm going to run the same command. Okay, let it download. Let me enable this module in the prod. So now the module is enabled in dev. Let's go to dev and enable that module. So we now successfully enabled it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to export all this configuration from dev to prod once we configure the config ignore. Okay, so for that what I'm going to do, I'm going to in the development instance config development synchronization and ignore page. So I'm going to mention I'm going to restrict system.site file. Okay, so I'm going to save it. Okay, let's see what it has. Basic site and also in the prod basic site settings. So it has slogan. It has slogan. It doesn't have slogan. So let's see what happens. Okay. So let's export the configuration in the div. CX. So yes. So here you can see there is two YML file changes. One is config ignore setting and one is a core.extension. Core.extension contain what are the modules enabled in your system. Okay, so these two YMLs are changed. And now, so I'm going to div sites default files configuration sync. I'm going to copy full folder. Okay, whenever you move your configuration, it's always better to delete and move, because when you remove some feature from your development, that time the YML will be deleted from your file structure. Okay, so when you copy replace the files in the sync folder, what will happen, it will replace existing, but what are the deleted in your development environment, those will be retains there. So in that case, that will make problems. So it's always better to delete and upload. Okay. So now we uploaded in the prod. I'm going to cdd prod and drush sim. Okay. Enter. So now the configuration imported successfully, right? So let's go there and refresh. So you can see the configuration imported successfully. It should not get imported, right? Why this is happening? Because we changed in the config ignore file, but we are moving the YML file from here to there, right? So what will happen when the order of execution is changed, which means um, when the basic site setting YML file is imported before the config ignore settings means the YML will be imported successfully. After that, only ignore will import. That in that case, automatically your site will get updated with your slogan here. Okay, so it's always better to export your config ignore first. After that, if you do the whatever the changes if you are doing, that will affect. So I will tell you that too. Welcome you all for D4Drupal session. Okay, so I'm going to save it. So now we'll export and import. What will happen? We'll see. Okay, so now we exported. So cd dev config. Sorry, it's drush exported. Drush cx. It's config export. Enter. So now we exported cd prod. So drush sim now. No, we have to copy paste the files, right? We forget to do that. Okay, let's copy the files from dev to prod. Dev, sites, default, files, config, sync. Okay, I'm going to copy fully. So in the prod, sites, default, files, config, deleting, and pasting. Okay. So now we pasted successfully. Now I'm going to run the drush sim. Drush sim. There is no changes. Why? Okay. Because we excluded the system.site.yml file, right? That's why it's saying there is no changes. So let me do changes on some other YML file and show you. Okay. So let's change the theme and we'll check how it is working. Okay. Okay. I'm keeping Claro as a base theme here. So now Claro is a base theme. I'm going to div cd div drush cex. Prod. Before that, we need to move the files. So let's go to div sites default files config sync. Okay. Prod sites default files config sync. I'm going to delete and paste. So now we pasted successfully. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drush sim here. So it is showing the changes in the theme file, right? But it is not showing the changes in the YML file which we configured in the config ignore file. Okay. So that is how the config ignore module will work. So when you go and see the basic site settings of the prod, so you can see it stay at is as it is. Okay. It doesn't add the default Drupal session here. Okay. So but when you go to the appearance, you can see the Claro will be the base theme. See here, Claro is the base theme as we configure. Okay. And one more thing is that when you want to disable the config ignore in your instance by using setting.php file, you need to add this in your setting.php file to ignore it by files. Okay. And that's it about today's session. And hope everyone likes it. If you like the video, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.